Everybody, my name is Bob Kerner. Some of you know me by name, some of you know me because of Google Maps, but about 100,000 plus people a month do find me somewhere on Google Maps talking about someplace in the world. Right now we're going to be talking about a way to cancel a recent timeshare or travel club purchase. I'm going to take a few minutes, show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But most importantly, I'm going to show you how to use an unknown tool to cancel a timeshare agreement not less than in the state of Nevada in very, very short time. You can do it from your home. You can do it yourself. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to get this thing done. You're looking at a former timeshare professional that's going to tell you everything that you need to know, and then some. Stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bear with me here because I'm going to have to read off of a screen in order to present this properly. But here we go. If your sales podium presenter ended the sales presentation, the scripted sales presentation, with words to the effect, the first couple in the room to hand their credit card and driver's license to their sales agent before they get to the next room will guarantee themselves a free vacation stay in beautiful, tropical Honolulu, Hawaii, including airfare. Now, who in this room wants to go to Hawaii if I'm paying for it? If that happened to you while you were in a sales presentation, you didn't get exactly that, that's a free ticket out. They misrepresented exactly what it is that they told you were going to get. And if they changed that understanding later on in your conversation, but that's what it is that you remember, and it was one of the primary reasons you did what you did that day, you need to write that down and make it known to them. You also need it to be known that you feel that this was a misrepresentation of fact, and it influenced your purchase at that location on that day. Make that crystal clear. Okie dokie, I'm back. We're going to take a quick look at do-it-yourself timeshare cancellation website. It's a free do-it-yourself website for those that feel that they are due a full refund for the cancellation of a recent timeshare or travel club purchase for all purposes of doing business with those entities somewhere in the United States. Examples would be Sapphire Resorts, Starpoint Resort Group Incorporated, TLC Resorts, Share Life Vacations, Westgate Resorts, Hilton, HGVC Resorts, Wyndham Resorts, Marriott Vacation Club, Shell Resorts, Diamond Resorts, Berkley Group Vacation Village, and Bluegreen Vacations Unlimited Incorporated. That's not all of them, but those are the heaviest hitters that I know of. The method I'm going to show you works for purchase complaints less than 4 years from the date of purchase. Don't blame us for the time frame. It's a legal thing about fraud and statute of limitations. Statute of limitations? I think I got that right. Before we get too much further, I just want to let everybody know that I'm not an attorney. Don't pretend to be one. Don't play one on television. Once again, just a former timeshare sales agent sharing some secrets that everybody should know about and nobody does. The motivation from this came from my thought and attempt to go back working in the industry here very recently. And Ended up going into a sales floor with people that I've known for years and years and years. And at first it was like, oh man, Old Home Week, this is going to be fantastic. And then I watched what was going on. And from hi, how are you, through the podium pitch, all the way down to the sales floor and turning the tables for the finance guys to come in and do their thing. It was disgusting. I was embarrassed to be there. It's the reason that I'm talking to you today. Listen very closely because you're going to learn a lot. You're not going to spend a whole lot of money to gain a lot of information in a very short period of time. And I can assure you that what I'm going to share with you will hit the core of what it is that you're looking for, like a laser hits the target. Whoever it is that owes you money is going to be paying attention to you very, very quickly. All you need to do is just follow the path that I'm going to send you on. All you're doing is sending letters. I'm going to show you how to put the letters together. I'm going to tell you at least who to send them to in the state of Nevada. All of this stuff you can do yourself. You don't need any help. Don't need any help whatsoever except what's in front of you right now. Stick around because here's the why of why this is going to work. It's been sitting in front of everybody all of the time, but attorneys are not going to tell you. The industry isn't going to expose it. You just got to figure it out your own darn tootin' self. Here's the bottom line. 99.8% of all of the timeshare or travel club agreements between buyer and seller have an arbitration clause in them. That arbitration clause gives the purchaser the distinct impression that if they have a complaint against the developer seller, that they have to do it between each other and that the courts can't be involved and you have to go through the American Arbitration Society to get anything done, da-da-da-da-da-da. Just this whole smoke and mirror thing. Let me tell you something. It doesn't hold water. Arbitration by itself cannot save anybody, any entity at all, at any point in time, from shielding themselves from criminal law. That opportunity doesn't exist in any contract anywhere. Listen to what I'm telling you. Fraud is not protected by an arbitration agreement. That's where the hammer is. I'm going to show you the hammer. Stay tuned. Okay, the first step is really easy. You simply send them a letter, a complaint letter. Say, hey, look, this is what happened. This is what I think happened. This is what I know happened. This is what I think might very well be illegal that happened. And that's the primary reason for me to get a hold of you. I don't think what I was told and what I bought match up on several different occasions. I'm going to tell you which ones that they are. When you're putting your first correspondence together, the one that lays out where it is that you feel you were wronged, you need to leave emotion completely out of it if it's at all possible. I'm not saying leave it void of emotion. I mean, if there's things that bothered you and you want to let somebody know about it during the course of writing your letter, please do. But most importantly, what you're trying to relay and what you should be relaying is truth versus untruth. So if somebody told you that you were buying a property that was going to be worth 10 times its asking price today in 10 years or in 20 years, that would be a misrepresentation of fact. And it's punishable by law. It's a gross misrepresentation. You can't even say that in timeshare. You can't say that in a travel club. Travel clubs, for the most part, have no value at all because the only thing that backs them up is air and the promise for RCI to stay in business another year after year after year after they're gone. The more you can remember and the more that you can recall from the original sales presentation, I'm talking about everything from the person that you met that introduced you to what it is that you didn't think you were going to be going to the person that actually met you and greeted you and asked you whatever questions were necessary to requalify you for that opportunity to come and sit there and listen to a sales presentation. Try to remember everything that was told you. As insignificant as it might seem, think about every word that was said from the time that you said, okay, I'll do this deal, until it was over. Names, specific questions, specific answers to specific questions. If there was a doubt in your mind, bring that back to mind. Share that in your letter. If they said that this building that you were going to be buying a piece of was going to turn into a castle unbeknownst to anybody in the world in the next 10 or 15 years, and they didn't back it up, that's a misrepresentation. It's one of the things that can dissolve your contract if you handle this appropriately. The way that you win this argument is with facts. The more facts you have, the better off it's going to be. So if you were under the impression that you were going to get free round-trip airline tickets from Las Vegas to Hawaii and a few days in Hawaii absolutely free at the same time, just because you decide to become a member today, while you were there, when you got all your benefits right there on that very first day, all your incentives were being given to you every day. So is it possible that the free round-trip airline tickets and staying in Hawaii had anything to do with your purchase on that particular day? And oh, by the way, after you got done reading the fine print on that travel certificate that gave you the free trip, just exactly how much money could you add it up to that you had to come up with in upfront money to even start that process? That could take several months to 6 months or more. Imagine that. Somebody misled me into thinking that this was a free trip to Hawaii when I got to pay all these taxes, all these fees. I got to travel at the first of the week, can't go on a weekend. No, that's a whole different deal. Anyhow, here's what I thought was going to be thousands of dollars worth of value. That's, as far as I can tell, pretty much worthless unless you just line up all the moons the right way at the right time on the right day. And then you got X amount of time to get it done. If that happened to you, make that a portion of your letter to them. Do it today. If you're having trouble remembering a specific sentence or occurrence, what happened on that particular day, 90% of these timeshare presentations are exactly the same, no matter where you go. The questions are the same, the answers are the same, the setup's the same. It's all hype and pitch, and then cleaning it up on the back end. The website itself has got dozens of little bullets that you can take a look at to help you recall what may have happened on that particular day. By all means, if any of them hit a chord with you, you might want to bring that into that letter that you're going to send to the developer to get your money back. And once again, be specific. If you say, they told me that if I didn't purchase it that day, that everything was going to expire and I'm never going to have a chance to do with you what it is that you're showing to me today, words to that effect. If you think that they stretched the truth a little bit, make sure that that's being told in there. Don't exaggerate anything. Try to remember verbatim what it is that actually was said. Because believe it or not, a lot of these places are wired for sound and video, and they can actually play back what was happening at the table that you were at when you make that decision to buy. Remember that, because that too is going to turn into a huge tool in helping you to regain your funds. It's almost like guaranteed money in the bank if they got it. I'll show you how to gain that shortly. It's getting better, isn't it? You're going to find out that this process is a lot more effective, a lot quicker than anybody even anticipated it to be. The reason for that is simply because fear is being invoked onto the developer seller, the person or the entity that sold you what it is that you're not too happy with today. The last thing that these people want is to end up in a court of any kind and get nailed for fraud or misrepresentation or deceit or anything that would harm their ability to continue to do what it is that they've been doing for a day, a year, a month, 10 years, 20 years, however long it is that they've been fleecing people the same way that they've been fleecing you. Do you hear what I'm saying? This has been going on for years and years and years and years. I don't care what brand it is. They all do it. They all do it. Some do it better than others. So all we're doing right now is saying, hey, wait a minute. Some of these things that you were doing and that you have done, that you are known to do, are not going to happen again and again and again, at least not to me. And here's why. Not only am I going to share this information with you, but I'm going to share the information with the American public, with Nevada's immediate public, and whether it be legal or private, people are going to find out. The other thing that they're going to find out is that this information just happened to show up on YouTube, and there's probably going to be 1 million people checking it out in very, very short time. You could be one of this core group that is created through this exercise into righting the wrongs that have been happening in this industry for decades. Decades. So don't look at it as just a selfish means to get your own money back, because it's due you. These people lied to you. They need to give you back your money and release it. Period. End of the story. Fraud is fraud. You get caught with fraud, guess what? You got to give their money back. You don't give their money back, or if you start running, guess what? They can put you in jail for it for a long time. If it's large enough, they can put you in federal prison for this. Federal prison. Listen to me very closely. The hammer here is the law. Use the hammer the correct way. Use it the way that the law tells you can. Get somebody to help you in case you're not quite sure. That information is going to be pretty cheap or free, if not otherwise. All right. Second step, I'm going to share with you here in just a second. Okay, step number 2, you may not even need. I'm telling you, if you do what it is that we shared with you the first time and send the letter correctly the first time around, chances are you're going to come away pretty happy in a very short period of time. Now, what's that do for you? It gets you what it is that you deserve. What's it do for somebody else? Not much of anything, but it's just like chinking a little bit piece of armor. As long as people keep on chinking at it, eventually that armor is going to have to fall off of the body. So a little bit at a time, but let's just start with your problem. Right now you want to get some of your money back. If it's under 10 grand, this is going to go even quicker, because in the state of Nevada, you can use small claims court to take you up to $10,000 in recovery. Now, if you were at a place like Sapphire Resort, that's their number, $99.95. That's their top number. So if you went down for $99.95 and they gave you a discount of any kind, by the time you get done doing this, the way that I'm sharing it with you, even if you had to file the small claims action, which they're not going to allow you to do. They're going to pay you off beforehand, I'll guarantee it. They're not going to let you go to court over this for a $10,000 refund. I guarantee you that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Do this knowing that you're going to end up with your money. It may take a push or two or a letter or two, but if you're diligent and if you're on this and if you just follow what it is that we're sharing with you, I'm telling you, you're going to see your money coming back. Okay, The second step in this process, if you have to use it, is establishing and sending the demand letter and setting yourself up to take whomever it is that you're requesting your money back from. In this case, we'll say it's 10 grand or under, so we're going to take them to small claims court. So you have to send them a demand letter, and it has to go certified mail so that you can prove that it was received by the legal entity representing the developer seller that you intend to get your monies back. By that I mean simply look at your documentation from the day that you signed, and somewhere in there it's going to tell you what the legal address is for them for whatever reason for the future. You'll find it. If you can't find it, look for it online. Believe me, it's going to show up pretty darn tootin' quick. So what we're doing here is simply now taking from where it is that we began, which was the nice letter that outlined where it is that we thought we were wronged, and we used the law as a reference each and every time. We gave you an opportunity to take a look at a sample letter to see how that all lines up. Once again, if you have some issues, whether or not you're absolutely correct at this particular juncture, you don't really have to be right on the money. You can be close enough, right? Take another look, understand the law the way that the best that you can. It's written pretty plainly, and just see where you fit in there. If it fits in there, make it blend in there. If you're having trouble writing a letter, find somebody that writes a letter better than you do. Pretty simple stuff. If nothing else, get a hold of a paralegal, a document preparer, somebody that's used to doing this stuff. Okay? Pretty easy for them, pretty cheap for you to pay them to do it if you had to have it done. So what we're doing at this juncture, right? This is the second step, and this should be the final one, quite honestly, is we've sent the demand letter, and now we're just waiting for them to respond, okay? Because the demand letter says, hey, you don't do what it is that we're asking you to do. Not only are we taking you to court, we're taking a bunch of other people to court with you. So we're going to subpoena everybody that had anything to do with the actual sale itself. So if the guy at the OPC booth, the place that set you up for the free tickets or free cash or whatever it is that they were offering you to go to wherever it is that they said that you were going, and if they didn't say, here's money for going to a timeshare presentation, you might want to recall that, because they can't not tell you that. Okay? Here again, if you're looking for other prompts to remind you of what transpired during that time period, take a look. We got dozens of little prompts there for, to jog your memory and get you back into that particular moment so that you can remember exactly what happened, how it happened, who said what when. Again, put it into your letter, went into the original complaint. That original complaint is just going to become part of your demand letter, if not the full demand letter itself. Once you've sent the demand letter and it's on its way, you didn't necessarily have to go and pay the fees to take this into small claims court yet. That money hasn't been spent. Now that could be $500, $600, $700, depending on what your needs are or what their requirements are. Just delivery costs, court costs, whatever. Okay, it's still well under $1,000. If $1,000 is more money than you want to spend to get your money back, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it is what it is. With me, it's if I got to put it up $1,000 to get $3,000 back, and the law will allow me to recover my original funds plus the costs of going to court to get it, I'm stubborn enough to make that happen. Maybe you are. It's your call. You do whatever it is that you're comfortable with, and then stick with it. And once again, these are guidelines to help you get there. Help is cheap. It's all around you. I'm going to give you some references as we go through this anyway. So pay attention. Not too tough here. Let's just continue on, and I'll tell you what the second portion of step 2 is. Stand by. 1 is to ensure that everybody that we've given you an address for receives a copy of the same demand letter. So if we're sending you to, if we're saying send it to the Department of Business and Industry, to the administrator there, to the director of the real estate division, those types of things, make sure that they go out around the same time. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same day. You don't have to have certified delivery. You don't have to have return receipts. You just want to get that information out there. Okay, and you want to get it out to the people that are directly and indirectly involved in the laws that surround fraud and this particular industry in the state of Nevada. In addition to that, we're going to let 1 or 2 of the news channels know about that as well at the exact same time. See how this is going to build up? See where it's going? You see why it's going to work? Nobody wants to go through this. They don't want to go through this. What they don't know is you know how to put them through this. Get what it is that you want back, which is your money and your peace of mind. Do it for that reason, and do it soon. You'll get your money back soon enough. I do it. Okay, we're going to pretend for just a minute that whoever they are, the seller of the timeshare travel club that you became a part of, just basically sent a letter back and said, we'll see you in court. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that that's going to happen. There is no way that these entities are going to allow themselves to be put into a courtroom and judged guilty of a crime. And at the same time, being adjudged in this particular case and having to give all your money back at the same time that the judge is admonishing them for breaking the law. Not only one law, but maybe several laws, all in the same instance, all at the same time. Imagine that. Imagine that. Do you think the companies that are doing $4 million, $5 million a month, that already put in a 20% cancellation rate into their business model, care about cutting a check for 5 or 10 grand? No, sir. No, ma'am. No way in hell. Count on it, because that's where your money's coming back from. You know what's even better? Is that not only are you going to get your money back, but I'm going to show you how the same system that they were trying to charge you thousands of dollars for is available to you for next to nothing. I'm going to show you how to get it done. You want to travel through that system? You want to take advantage of what it is that they were trying to sell you or did sell you, and you had to go through this to recover your money? How about we get the ultimate revenge? Go through the process, clean it up a little bit, get our money back, and then go ahead and access the system that they were selling us on for pennies on the dollar. Would you like to hear that little tidbit? Oh, you would? Okay. Well, guess what? Not only am I going to share it with you, I'm going to share it with the entire world. The good news is it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars to find out what I know beyond what it is that I've already told you. This stuff just gets better and better, doesn't it? Get all your money back, and then somebody tells you how to work the system so that you can use it for you and yourself for the rest of your lives or the rest of their lives for as long as you want to do it at will and not have to worry about a maintenance fee. Ever. Ever. Matter of fact, you probably don't even have to buy a timeshare. And that's the reason I said you probably wouldn't have to worry about it ever. I know. Tease me. But pretty soon, it's going to be please me. because this works. How about after you get done getting all your money back, or maybe even before then, you say, you know what, we actually did want to be able to use the RCI system. If we could do that, we'd take advantage of stuff close to home or wherever. I mean, I've used it. I know that you can get a lot of places, more places than I got time and energy to go to anyway. We've been to a lot of them, but you don't have no pressure. It's just like punch it up on the computer. If the dates and times match someplace to go close to home, then go. If, for 200, 300, 400, whatever it is that they're asking for at the time. Sometimes there's some real deals in there. My wife Bonnie and I actually got stuck in Mexico, if you will, in Mazatlan for 4 months. Long and short of that is we had enough points at the time to stay there for 6 weeks at the El Cid Marina in Mazatlan. Really pretty place. But anyhow, we ran out of points, and you know that story. Go buy more points. No. So we get on to the RCI.com website to buy extra vacation weeks. And we filled in the next 10 weeks, printing the receipts right there at the resort that we were at. We'd buy whatever we could get if we were in a big 1-bedroom, but we'd be booking 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, whatever. But I just give them to them because they were much larger than what we needed, and we didn't want to have to move from where we're at. So for the next 10 weeks, maybe even 12 weeks, we just filled in the gap using these rental weeks. These are the same weeks that they sold you on, said, hey, for $10,000, you can have unlimited weeks with RCI. Yeah, you can. But there's also a way for you to spend a couple of $100, maybe, for your membership fee with RCI, use everything it is that they told you, and maybe never have to buy anything else again. And then, if you didn't want to use it the next year, let it expire. If you want to use it again 2 years from now, fire it up. They're not going to refuse new membership money again. They'll just have you on file and make everything a lot easier. I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty easy. Folks, I'd like you to know, just so that I know that you know, there's no charge to use this website. I'm not looking for any money from you to get your money back, even though it could be thousands of dollars or $10,000 or even more than that. Because more times than not, this little process I've introduced you to is going to work. It's just going to work. Just do it the way that I'm showing you how to do it, and let it be as effective as it can be. Don't get sloppy with it, and just follow the path. Follow the path. It'll take you where it is that you want to end up. Beyond that, I just want to wish you well in everything that you do. If you do feel like you need to reciprocate sometime in your near future for what it is that I shared with you, we have a charity that you'll be able to locate right there on the website that offered you this information that I put together for you. And we'd really appreciate it. We'd been working on a project for the aging called Legend Ranch for several years. And up until about December, I thought we were going to go through with that. And then long and short of that is that our funding account for developing Legend Ranch was hacked and completely drained. We watched those funds that we saved money for 4 years be completely sucked out of the account and left us almost penniless. Aside from just retirement income, everything else was gone. A week after that happened, after our money was stolen, still chasing it, by the way. Chances of getting it are next to zero, but we're still chasing it. Anyway, let's just move on from there. So they stole the money. Next week, we got our car stolen. Basically, everything was taken to us of any value until about 3 months later, when I found out that I had bladder cancer. Imagine that. So it kind of changes the way that you feel about a lot of things. As far as the cancer itself is concerned, it's something that I'm dealing with day to day. There's some good news, there's some bad news. I don't need to go down with that. But let's just say this. If I live long enough, the plan is to develop Legend Ranch. And aside from it being a completely solar powered facility, if you will, it is designed for the aging so that nobody has to die alone. Nobody goes without a meal every day. Nobody goes without transportation. Nobody goes without free nursing care. Nobody goes without hospice care. Um, and then at the same time, we have a social club and other things that we're all going to come from that. It's a dream that still exists in this head. It's something that Bonnie and I, had put together, and it was our way of giving back, if you will. So if you can help us give back sometime in the future, or for that matter, even right now, we'd really appreciate it. Hey, thank you for your time. I wish you well in everything that you do. If you do become travel animals like Bonnie and I are and were, we wish you the best, and it'll open your eyes to some amazing things. But you don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to do that. You can spend just a few. I'll show you how to do it. And then sometime in the future, you can write me a little note and let me know about your travels as things progress. All the best to you and your family. Use the information that we're giving you to your best stead. Know that it is given with love and care. My best to you and your family. Have a good day.